Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're installing and reviewing the Teraflex Delta brake kit on my 2022 Jeep Diesel Gladiator. I learned a ton during this install, and there are some important things that you need to know before you decide to pull the trigger. So let's go over everything step by step. First off, these brakes are the same between the Jeep Gladiator and the JL Wrangler. I bought the kit through Northridge 4x4. They had the best price and fastest shipping. I'll drop all the part links and details down in the description below. Besides the brake kit itself, you also need a few extra parts. Braided stainless brake lines for the front and rear, plus the front brake line relocation bracket. That bracket moves the lines up out of the way for better flex and helps protect the ABS wires from damage. One of the biggest compatibility issues is wheel fitment. The upgraded calipers are much larger, so you're going to need the right wheel offset and clearance. Another important topic is the break-in period. These brakes don't feel great right out of the box. Myself and two buddies who installed the same kit, we all agree that right around 300 miles is needed before they fully broke in and delivered maximum clamping power. The pads just need time to properly bed into the rotors. Don't get discouraged early on. Once they're bedded, it's a night and day difference. One of my favorite benefits of this upgrade is improved traction and controlled performance. The Jeep's traction control system uses the ABS to individually brake slipping the wheels, similar to Toyota's crawl control. When you go up in tire size or add weight, the stock brakes struggle to keep up. These bigger brakes give the system much more authority, especially in sand or mud when in four-wheel high. That is also why having upgraded rear brakes, unlike the Power Stop kit, is a big deal. It lets the ABS and traction control work properly on the rear axle under heavier loads or with bigger tires. For the install, I went with full-length Teraflex braided brake lines on both the front and the rear axles, and I flushed the entire system with the Brembo DOT 5.1 brake fluid. Today's the day. We're putting on the Teraflex high-performance brake kit, or the Delta braking system. We're going to 4-piston calipers, front and rear. Come with rotors. I'm cleaning off the hubs now. We also have the Teraflex Nomad wheels in order to clear the bigger brakes. And we are going from a single piston back here to the 4-piston calipers as well. So it's a front and rear brake kit. And what's nice is the pads and the calipers are pretty much all the same, so redundancy there too as well. 2-piston caliper to 4-piston caliper. One thing to notate is the caliper stay no longer has the bolt. Not that that matters, less intrusion for dirt that way too, but just a heads up with that, you no longer need this. Are labeled front. Obviously the brake leader ports, you switch them around for whatever side you're on. We're gonna torque these bolts to 148 foot-pounds. Just a comparison. All right, we're installing these brake pads, squealer tabs. Inside, they go on the upper end, like so. And here she is fully assembled, guys. So the squealer tab brake pad is on the top of the inner side. This side does not have a squealer tab on it. As you can see, this is how the pins go. And then this one, I lock it in here first and then stick them in That way these can't slide out. I still got the other brake caliper right here. We gotta unbolt this line and bolt it up. We got a tab here, tab there. Well, my back is giving up on me. It is 5:30. Shop closed about a half hour ago, so if I was younger, I'd keep going. But I got the fronts on. The rears, oh my God, they barely clear. I mean, they clear, but it's close. But beefy rear brakes now. And that's what I liked over the Power Stop and the and that other competition, the Teraflex, is you're paying that money and you're only getting the fronts. And yeah, you're getting, I think they upgraded now to like 4 on each side. I'm not sure, but having quad pistons front and rear. We're just about finishing up here. So I already have the Teraflex long arm brake kit back here, which is the stainless steel, or I'm sorry, braided brake lines. It's longer, and it includes the grommets, so you can zip tie the ABS wire to. I'm about to start the bleeding procedure. I got everything hooked up. This is how I routed the brake line. So I've heard stories about people hitting this right here, but I think if you have the Teraflex braided brake line, this angle is a lot better than what comes on the factory Jeeps. So you should be okay. I mean, the wheel is going to cover all this anyway. This is how the pins sit, if you want to take a look at that. Let's see how that little pin sits right like that. It's kind of a good thing. The clearance in between here is like probably 2 millimeters. So it's very tight in here, but you're also putting on a 4-piston caliper in place of a single piston caliper. Now, on the front, this is where it gets interesting. You remove this bracket here from the bottom of the shock tower, and you got to unbolt this bottom shock bolt so you can move this to the other side. And this is going to go in here, and this is going to kind of hold everything up out of the way of all the moving components. Now, I still have the factory rubber brake line on here, and getting this bracket, you got to bend the tabs back and pull this out. But the better way to do this now, okay, so the better way to do this is to get the Teraflex braided brake line for the front too. I believe Northridge 4x4 sells it. I want to say it's like 160 bucks. But not only does it save you the trouble of doing all that stuff, you're getting a better feeling brake pedal too as well, because it's not going to expand and contract with the rubber. This is also Teraflex. You got to buy this separate. This does not come with the kit. This moves it up out of the way. But again, the better thing to do is to get the correct brake line, so that way, because you're going to bleed the system anyway when you undo all this. So I would recommend that as well. You just undo it here. Brake line goes all the way to here, down here, because this is the factory one. And again, this is how I tucked this one up out of the way. Again, the wheel is going to cover all this stuff, so I'm not worried about hitting, you know, this as far as that goes down. 25 foot-pounds on this bolt and this bolt. We still got to bleed it, but first I need to go on both sides and swap this to the other side. But this is how the pins sit, same exact as the rear. So the calipers are the calipers for the front are the same caliper left to right. It just flips and they use universal bleeders. So that's cool, right? Front to rear calipers are different because of the brackets, but I want to say all the brake pads are the same. They all are the same measurements. So you have some redundancy didn't see there as far as swapping parts out. If they all use the same brake pads, you can keep one extra set or something like that, you know, if you want to keep some extra parts in the Jeep. But I'm going to unbolt this, move it out, bolt it back in, and then we're going to bleed it. So, being in the shop, I do have the BG brake flush machine. I got to purge all the fluid out of that. I hook up to here, and I could just pressure bleed and, you know, make sure all the air is out of the system that way. This is extremely a lot more convenient and easier and faster than, you know, hold, pump, hold, the old school procedure. I quickly swapped the bolt from each caliper, so you unbolt it and brake fluid comes out, but I didn't lose hardly any brake fluid. So I was pretty quick with it when I did it. So yeah, there's gonna be air in the calipers right now and they're not pumped up. If you do bleed this dry, if this does drain out of brake fluid, you have to either bring it to a shop or have a scan tool that can air bleed the ABS module. Because once you get air in this module, your pedal will never feel the same. The only way you're going to get air in this module is if you run this dry, like all the way down. So don't do that, because this. I have a tool that will do this. My scan tool will bleed this. I want to say the J-Scan one will too, but just don't do it. Just don't put air in there so you don't have to bleed it. Just do that. So anyway, I'm gonna swap those over and we're gonna bleed it. So here's the final result. I did test like full steering sway, I guess you can say, full steering lock to lock, but I did not test full articulation lock to lock, so we're gonna have to still check that. The ABS wire, we did have to unclip it and kind of reroute it this way, but obviously it's no longer runs this way. It's on this side, and this is all rubber, so this allows a lot of flex either way. So we'll kind of see how that goes. This is what it looks like. 40 foot-pounds on this. Just got to bleed the brakes. Yeah, about 6 to 7 hours if any shop was to ask, or if you were to kind of guesstimate. Now, I did go slow on this because I'm really meticulous. All right, guys, went around. I bled them all with the machine. On these, you have to unscrew them almost all the way out. That ball that you put in there when you install these, that little ball check with the spring, that ball needs to be in there for them to torque all the way down. So, you have to have it almost all the way out for you to get the all the air out of it. So I bled it all once with the machine, got inside, pedal still was kind of soft. Typically what I normally do in cases like this with the Hondas, I'll pump the pedal up hard, get out, take the top off the reservoir, and manually just crack each one at a time open in the bleed procedure. So passenger rear, driver's rear, passenger front, driver's front, one at a time, and just crack them, in this case almost all the way open, and just kind of tap it till all the air bubbles come out and you have a steady stream. So I did that, got it all back together. Pedal was with the engine not running. The pedal was with the engine not running. You pump it up and it got hard, it did not sink. Start the car up, it sank down a little bit. Still not where I want it, but I was told with these you have to just drive them, let them sit overnight. So we're gonna try that. I'll follow up with you then. The reason why I went with these over the power brake brake pads is that these are both the front and the rear. So ideally with the traction control system of the Jeep, being able to apply brake pressure to the individual rear brakes is going to make a bigger difference instead of the single piston ones on the back. I can't imagine spending $1,000 more for the power brake ones for just getting the front rotors and calipers and still having the factory single pistons in the rear. Well, that about wraps it up. please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below what you guys think of this video. If you like the Teraflex ones, or if you're looking at the power brake, let me know what you think down below, and we will see you in the next video.